Throughout my time as a musician, I've experienced a ton of challenges, whether it be dealing with lazy bandmates, overly critical showgoers, drunk showgoers, or people claiming that the scene is dead. The last one of those statements always got under my skin, because as a young musician, I looked up to all these bands from the area, whether it be Killswitch, Stained, any of those guys, and I would think, wow, I could do that someday. But people automatically like to discredit these local musicians, even though they're phenomenally talented. And I decided that, hey, maybe the scene is dead. I should probably try to investigate. The first person I wanted to ask about this was a DJ from a local rock station, Leah Rance from Laser 99.3. The reason I wanted to talk to Leah is because she has a segment during her show called Locals Only. This lets her showcase a lot of local bands and some of the music they've been putting out. But first, I asked her if she had anything like that down in Maryland.
We actually had a local show called Locals Produce. Now, I didn't get to, and then it was eventually Sunday Mass. It was only for Sunday nights. What's cool about this station is you get it Monday through Friday, 6:45. I do it, every night. So, and get to play two bands and back to back and get to talk a little bit about them. So I feel like you get to, you get more into when people are actually listening and get to explore different bands instead of just cramming them all into one night. I like it a lot better up here. Danny P's and the Regulators are the first ones that stand out immediately to me. DPR. They had a song called She Says, and I actually like it so much that I would seek it out. I was trying to, I really just liked their song a lot. Esperanto, those guys were really cool. They actually, they came out and within the first couple of weeks, came out and greeted me and, were like, welcome to Massachusetts, and they have a song called Spirit War, which I think is pretty awesome. And they've got kind of more of a, I would say more of a psychedelic kind of feel to them. So it's kind of cool to hear the blend of different influences that Massachusetts has.
After getting a perspective of modern rock with Leah, we decided to interview a different type of artist. We had the pleasure of interviewing a good friend of mine, Colin Iman, otherwise known as Circa. He's one of the local rappers from the area, and I decided to ask him how he's been getting so much traction as of late.
From when I first started to now, I can definitely see a difference in people starting to care because, like you said, over these years, the quality has improved a lot more since I'm starting to actually figure this out and getting more serious about it. So I definitely have a lot more listeners now, and people waiting on my tracks. When I promote it, people waiting to listen. So definitely people have been giving me better feedback. So once the quality improves, you get more people on the bandwagon. There's a handful of rappers in Western Mass, and Mass just totally slept on. But I think Mass has lots of potential, but people just gotta see it through. Definitely Springfield. There's so many rappers. There's some big names trying to make it out of that city.
Next, I wanted to talk to Colin about his new group of musicians from the area, Empyrean Music Group.
All right, basically how it started. So, growing up listening to hip hop, I was always I always saw these huge rap groups come about in the industry, and just a bunch of people form a group, whether it's producers or rappers, and they just have their own label and their own brand. I used to think that was the coolest thing ever. So that whole 2.5 years I was just making music by myself, and not gonna lie, that it gets old real quick and you want to meet new people with the same interests as you. So I had a couple friends shout out Jada Beats and Kreda that I knew of that we would just collaborate separately, but then I figured, why not bring them into a group when we can just work together as a whole and just kind of put our minds together. So I formulated the idea okay, I want to form my own team and kind of make my own brand. So that's when I contacted everyone in the group. We started off with just the three of us. It was me, Jada Beats, and then Kreda. And then we extended on to our other members. I believe we're at 8 right now. And so just the goal was to basically form a rap / producer group, and also people that just wanted to create and just try and bond together and make a killing. I think there's potential. I think sometimes people around here just feel feel trapped because they look at like the West Coast, people trying to make in LA, and they want to do that over here. So, you know, everyone's just got those big dreams.
So after this interview, we were left with one person saying that the scene is very much alive and that they love all the new music that's coming out. And another person that's saying that the scene is there, just we have to do our part and try to find it. Lastly, we decided to interview Angela Mazza from the Feeding Hills Music Academy. I personally have a very strong connection to this academy because it's where I learned how to play bass almost 7 years ago now.
Well, back in the day I was teaching when it was Guitar Academy here in Agawam. It's now Agawam Music. But I came up through the ranks there. So then time went on, I taught and taught and taught, and then as I'm an electrician by trade, so work slowed down, so I figured I'd pick up some teaching again. So I started teaching out of the house. Well, it got busy. People got wind of I'm back teaching, so it got real busy. So the traffic in the house got to be too much. So what I wanted to do is just up the game and put a business plan together, started looking for a facility, and it all just snowballed from there. And we just opened up and went for it.
I have to say that the Band Jam program was easily the biggest accomplishment that the Feeding Hills Music Academy has achieved since their opening 7 years ago now. This program is what helped me basically learn how to play with other musicians. It's great, and I would love to see other young musicians take this program.
We started the program, I wanted something different. I wanted something, we have our kids coming in, our students coming in week after week taking lessons. And we focus here on education, and education and performance. We're not the typical music shop on the corner. We don't have the guitars hanging all over the place, the drum set set up. Our main focus and energy goes to education. So what I wanted, with the kids coming in week after week, I wanted to put something together to get these kids on a stage, to get them out there. So got together with other instructors, and we came up with a band program. And it's a 10-week program, which you yourself went through. Yep. And we teach the kids how to be in a band, how to gel together, how to work together within a band. And throughout the 10 weeks, we try to get them to get 3, 4, 5 songs. After the 10 weeks, we take them out into the community to perform. And whether we take them to Crestview Country Club, to Uno's, down in Springfield, to a benefit that's going on somewhere in the community, they're on a stage. There's a band right now called Locals Only. They started with us when they were 8 years old, 9 years old. They're gigging all over the place now. And they're still with us here. They're still taking lessons. There's another band called Vagrant Edition. We have one of their guitar players is actually teaching for us now. There's just so many kids. We have kids that have gone through the band program. They're not only playing in bands, but they're doing duets. They're doing solo gigs. It's phenomenal. Their confidence is built up so much, as you know too. Yeah. Being out there playing in a band, which is great. We have it's sporadic. It's a challenge to try to, we compete against sports. Kids are so busy today that sports come around, the kids drop off, they come back, they drop off. But music is so important. I think it's equally important, if not more important, than sports. It helps with their academics. It helps with their confidence. It helps. There's so much with that it develops in them. Their concentration, their learning just escalates when they study music. And we got some kids that come in that play football. Some of my students, guitar students, I tell them, you break a finger, I'm coming after you. But it is good. And like I said, it's sporadic, but we're around 125 students here right now. So I've been playing guitar since I was 11. Started in bands when I was about 13, and never stopped. I went in the Navy in '82, and I was even in bands in the Navy. So I played. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yep. You don't really think of, Western Mass as a hub for, music like this. Right. It is. There's a lot of big names that come out of Western Mass. So it's really good. And you also got Jimmy Bell, House of Lords. Yeah. Livio Gravini, he's doing, the American Zeppelin stuff. Things like that just, the scene's huge around here. Yeah. So you got, and then, if you head east a little bit, you have Mike Chappell and Sweet Cheater. There's just the bands, and Mike Chappell, back in the day was in a band with Johnny April from Stain. So, a band called Maniac. So it's, everybody has a root here somewhere and doing stuff, so it's, there's a lot of good music around here.
I need to give a huge thank you to everybody who let me interview them for this project. Thanks to them, we now have a huge amount of information regarding the local music scene. And I have to say, thanks to everybody's input, it's very much alive, and you know what? We have a ton of amazing musicians here in the area, and if we all just did our part, we'd have a much more lively scene.